I bet. Welcome back to another episode of Toxiris. Rates, whatever. Today, we got another tier list. Um, I wanted to wait until the year ends to make this tier list because, for obvious reasons, because I didn't want to have this tier list drop before the year ends. I just looked up some random 2021 rap albums tier list. I hope this one is alright. I haven't heard all the albums on here. Frankly, I do not even know all the albums on here, but I've heard most of them, and I'm gonna rank obviously only the ones I've heard. Alright, so we're starting off with Lyrics to Go Volume 2, I think it was. Um, I'm a pretty big fan of Coda the Friend. I don't know about them allegations, but I'm talking just musically. I think he's pretty good, and this was not one of his best projects. I would even say one of his worst, but I still think it's a 7. Honestly, I still think it was really enjoyable. I haven't heard this one. With Unbothered, I didn't really hate this album. I was just disappointed. So I would probably rate it like 4 out of 10 because it was not bad. It's just, I don't know, just really, really disappointing. With 1176, I'm sorry, actually, I would like to have the deluxe on here because I think this is one album where the deluxe was actually worth listening to. I'm gonna give this one an 8. I think it's a solid album. I think I even reviewed it on Toxic Discovers, and honestly, it's good. It's the first Guap Dad album I've ever heard, and I liked it. Moneybag Yo, A Gangsta's Pain. That's a 7 out of 10 too. I was really surprised because before I heard this project, I was like, Moneybag Yo, trash, man, trash. But actually, not. Like, actually, this was a really solid project. I don't know. I know this is the Clouds mixtape by NF, but I don't really care about NF's recent stuff. I don't know. Lil TJ Destined to Win, another 7. I don't think I really have to say that much. I think it's worse than his recent 2 projects, but I still think it's a good listen. It has a couple really good songs, like for example, "Run It Up" really grew on me, and a couple other tracks too. I've heard the first part of Dumb and Dumber, but not the second one. I'm pretty sure. Anyway, "Die for Respect" by DDG. I think this is actually. I don't want to put it on the same level as these, but it's a 6 out. Like, it's a solid project. I mean, some of the features like that Young Boy and that P&B feature, great. I like both of them. And other than that, it's a solid project. It's not bad at all. It's just not as good as the ones in the 7. So it's a good 6 though. Like, don't get offended, please. Eldorado, better than Unbothered, but also really disappointing. Like, I was listening to this, and before that, I actually liked, I think, like 90% of what I've heard from 24K Golden, and this album just sounded like some mid 2000s pop album that was like bad. Like, I don't know, I didn't really enjoy it. It's just not for me, I guess. I don't know. Quadeca From Me to You, that's an 8 out of 10. I know a lot of people would say this album is a 10 out of 10 and 9 out of 10. I hated it the first time I heard it because I thought, bro, this is just way too much, like, overproduced in my opinion. But like, the more I listened to it, I think I heard it like 5, 6 times until now. The more I started really enjoying it, and like a couple of tracks really, really grew on me and got into my playlists at the end of the day. So I think it's a really solid project. Um, First time I've ever heard a Quadeca album, and honestly, if he's dropping something new, I'm gonna listen to it because this was good. If it bleeds, it can be killed. That's probably like, there's another Conway project over here, but I think if it bleeds, it can be killed. That's a 7 out of 10. I think it's a good project. I think the production is really what sticks out on this one, but I didn't really like Conway's rapping as much as on La Maquina, 9 out of 10. I don't think I'm gonna put anything in a 10 out of 10 today. It's like, I don't know. It's just nothing that great drop in 2021. But anyway, I think if it bleeds, it can be killed was good. I think Conway's the best member of Griselda, and I think he did a great job on this album as well. I just think La Maquina is way, and I'm talking way better. 200 Pies, Clarify, no, not Clarity, Clarity, the track with the two other Griselda members. Overall, just a very, very good project. Judas and the Black Messiah soundtrack. That was one of the best projects at the beginning of 2021. I don't know. At the beginning of 2021, there was basically nothing good. But this project was really good, and I'd probably give it a 7 out of 10. Because it did have a couple really good tracks, like Plead the 45th by Saab and Smino. But it also had a couple just weird ass tracks, like the 2G Herbo tracks were just not that good. I don't know. Just no. Loyalty over royalty. That's a 2. That project was horrible. See, I'm a New York City drill fan, and this was honestly a slap in the face because, like, besides Whoop-Dee, which was a good track to be fair, but also heavily carried by the production, the only good track was basically Politics, which is also heavily carried by the production. Because that beat, I gotta say, that beat was great, but what he did with it was awful. And all those auto-tuned songs on that project, hell nah, trash ass songs, trash ass EP. I'm not surprised CJ fell off. But surprisingly, there's something even worse coming up now. Michigan Boy Boat by Yachty. I don't even know if I finished this album because I was so disappointed. See, I'm not a Yachty fan at all. I'm someone who heavily criticizes Yachty. I didn't have like high expectations for this project like I may have had for 24K Golden's or Lil Skies album. No, I didn't have any expectations. I just genuinely think this album is below anything Yachty has dropped in his career. Like, people said Teenage Emotions was bad. I think Teenage Emotions is miles, and I'm talking miles above this. I don't know. It's just trash. Like, the production, the features, everything about this album sucks. Neon Shark, just not for me. I don't know. Just not for me. I guess it's just no, not for me. I didn't even know this dropped in 2021. I don't know what it's called, but it's that Chica project, and I'd rate it a 6 out of 10, honestly. I think that the songs like Cinderella Story Part 1 and Part 2, I think, are on there. Both pretty good. So I enjoy that project. I think it's more of a, if I remember correctly, it's more of an EP with like only a couple short songs. But it was enjoyable, actually. Like, I can't complain. Only the Generals 2. I heard this, but it's been too long. I can't really give an opinion on this project. I'm sorry. I haven't heard this Tory Lanez project either. I've heard Psycho, and it's a 3 out of 10. No, it's a 2 out of 10, but better than CJ's project. Smoke Perp, I don't know. He fell off. I think that's all I gotta say, honestly. Brockhampton, their last album, apparently, since they recently announced their breakup. Yeah, an 8 out of 10. Maybe a 9, but like, it's like somewhere between these two, because this was the first Brockhampton project I've ever heard, because I don't know, I never really was interested into getting them. I thought it was just like typical frat boy music, but I don't know, I enjoyed that project a lot. I think some of the hooks were great, the features like A$AP Rocky and Ferg and Danny Brown were all pretty good, and overall just a very, very enjoyable project. Six Dogs. Ronald, that's what the album is called. I think a 7 is good, because like it's a really solid project, but it's just not that special. Like, every song on that project is in some way, shape, or form enjoyable, but it's like not like really outstanding or great or whatever. It's just enjoyable hooks, enjoyable verses, but that's really it. Pooh Shiesty season. I know a lot of people hated the fuck out of this project. Like, a lot of the people who would have a similar ranking to this one for now. I think it's honestly good. Like, some of the tracks, like I know that Switch It Up is on the deluxe, but some other tracks, like the track with Gucci Mane, the track with Chop Away, like those were all just good tracks in my opinion, and for what it is, I think it's a pretty enjoyable album. It's obviously he doesn't really switch it up as much. It's like he gets often carried by the production, but for what it is, I enjoyed it. Slime Language 2, that might be another 7 to me. I don't know. This is like some of the tracks on this project that like I enjoyed, like just I really enjoyed listening to, and some of the songs were just pretty entertaining because they were like hilarious. Like Superstar by Future. Like if y'all heard that hook, y'all know what I'm talking about. That shit is low-key hilarious. I don't know. Anyway, um Soulfly by Rod Wave. I don't know. 5 out of 10. I'm not a big Rod Wave fan, and this project was boring as hell. Like, see, Rod Wave can do interesting vocal inflection. He just doesn't do it on this project. Like, he just has the same sad ass, boring ass voice all the time. And I'm like, yo, I get you sad, man. I appreciate you talking about it, but at least make it enjoyable. I don't know. Rod Wave fans probably gonna come for my ass for this one, but I don't care, honestly. Blicky Tape 2, yeah, that might be a 7 too. Um, I already mentioned earlier, I'm a pretty big New York City drill fan, and although this project had a couple misses, like Long Live Nick Blicky, although like I fuck with the message, that song sounded so bad. I'm sorry, man. I don't know, just wasn't it for me. But other than that, it has like a couple really really good tracks, like Trollanta, for example. Yeah, overall pretty good. For Them Boys, another project that I really enjoyed, and actually the first 42 Dog project where I'm like, yo, that's a good album. Oh, this is Freedom Boys, my bad. That's a good project. I don't know, many people hated on it. Many people said it's trash, but I think tracks like Alone with Lil Durk, or the other track with Lil Durk, I can't really get the name right now. I think those are all enjoyable and solid tracks. I don't really have nothing to hate on. But yeah, the plugs I'm at part two. I think that project, that's an 8 out of 10 as well. Yeah. Harry Fraud production, I love it. I love it. And Benny the Butcher being one of my favorite rappers right now, I can really appreciate this project. And I think it's way better than the one he dropped later in that year. I'm not gonna talk about it in case it's gonna be on this list later on. To Kill a Sunrise by Coda the Friend. That's a 9 out of 10 as well. That's close as fuck to the 10 though, cause the production by I think by Static Selecta, beautiful. Like this album cover perfectly matches that vibe. I love that album so much. I literally got it on vinyl laying beside me right now. I love this project, and production is beautiful. The hooks are beautiful. The verses are beautiful. Just an album that makes you feel really really good. So if y'all haven't heard it yet, definitely check it out. Tyrone by Slow Tie. I used to appreciate this album more when I hadn't heard his previous project yet, but still like it. I just think the one he dropped before is just way better in my opinion. But this is still pretty good. I think it like the track with Dominic Fike, like Terms, that's what it's called. Track with Rocky Mazza is all good tracks, and overall really solid project. I don't know. Unlocked 1.5 is I would give it a 7 if it was like original, but it's actually just unlocked, but like with different beats and features. So I'm giving it a 6 out of 10. I liked it, but it's not even close to what Denzel has reached with Imperial and Taboo in my opinion. Since Taboo, I feel like he's been good. Like Zoo was good, and the other projects were good too, but I don't know. He just never reached that Taboo level again. Then we got Khalid by DJ Khalid. And I know that's another project many people hated on, and I'm actually like, come on, it had a couple slaps. Like, I Can Have It All, Every Chance I Get. That track grew on me a lot. Thankful with Jeremiah. Like, this had a couple of decent tracks, and I think that's why it deserves a spot on number 5. Obviously, that Grease track with Drake, horrible. Big Paper by Cardi B, horrible. That's why it's not higher up. But it did have a couple solid tracks. I don't know. Haven't heard this one either. Street Sermons by Moray. I think that's a 7 as well. That's a pretty good. I feel like Moray does what Rod Wave could do. Like he has like similar topics, a similar voice, I feel like he just tries harder, and that makes this album so much more enjoyable than Soulfly. And it's also a lot shorter, so it doesn't even have the time to get as boring as Soulfly does. I heard this project and I didn't like it. I didn't like this T Grizzly project at all. I don't know, man. I can deal with a bit of repetitiveness in the production. I can deal with a bit of repetitiveness in the beats, but this was too much for me. It was either 5 or a 4 because a couple tracks were good, no doubt, but like, nah, man, just wasn't good enough for a higher score. Haitian Boy Kodak, that's 1 out of 10. I don't think I really have to say anything. Ass, man, really, like, I'm not the biggest Kodak fan, but this was, even for Kodak, it was trash. Okay, I'm talking trash. Haven't heard that Quando project either, actually. Scarface and Czarface and MF Doom. I don't really know how to pronounce that name. I actually heard this project once, so I'm giving it a 6. I don't know. I didn't really like it. I know MF Doom fans are gonna come for my head. I don't give a shit. I didn't really enjoy this project. I don't know. The Off Season by J. Cole. That's 7 out of 10, but close to an 8. Because that project, when I first heard it, I was really impressed. I really liked it. But the longer it's out, the more I just don't give a shit about this project. Like, I don't know. For like most of J. Cole's project I've heard in recent years, I'm still bumping them from time to time, or like bumping a couple of tracks from time to time. The only track I bump off of this project is My Life, and that's for Moray and 21 Savage. No, obviously, J. Cole had a great verse, but like, that's not what makes me come back to that track. I don't know. I haven't heard this Young Nudie project either, unfortunately, because I just don't give a shit about Young Nudie. Perfect Timing. No, that's not what. I don't really remember what this project is called, but I know this by YG and Mozzie. I know that has a great blast feature, and I know that overall it's a 6 out of 10. It's solid, but I don't know. I don't really like YG. I really enjoy Mozzie, but YG is not really for me. I don't know. This Young Ma project, also 6 out of 10. Had a couple really good tracks, like for example Successful. Listen to that track, that's a really good one. But besides that, just mid, I don't know. Pray for Haiti by Mac Homie. I don't think I have to say anything. I think enough people have praised this project throughout the year. I don't think it's as good as some people may say, but I still think it is a very good project and deserves at least some of the hype. Dmx Exodus. I gave this album a 8 out of 10 the day it dropped, but I'd give it a 7 out of 10 now, because it's just, I still think it's a solid posthumous album. Honestly, I still think Letter to My Son is very emotional track and very good track. Track, well, whatever you want to call it. And yeah, it's a solid project, honestly. Like the features and everything, I liked it. It's just not as good as I thought it was on the first day I heard it. Then we have Still Sleep by Sleepy Hollow. I think Sleepy Hollow really made a good transition, like from more of a drill or hard type rap to melodic rap. And I think this is an 8 out of 10. Or is it? Nah, it's a 7 out of 10. It's a 7 out of 10. But it's a good 7 out of 10. Because I really enjoyed this project. Like songs like Two Saws. Obviously 2055, 1999. Like this had some bangers. I'm not playing, bro. This was a good project. I liked it. The Voice of the Heroes, another 7. Bro, I'm handing out too many 7s. I don't know, man. I don't know. The Voice of the Heroes, I enjoyed it and I liked it, but I don't know. I think they could have done more with it, but it still had. I have it in 7 out of 10. It still had a couple really enjoyable tracks and like no really bad tracks, honestly. Migos Culture 3, 4 out of 10. Again, really disappointing. Besides the Vaccine and that track with Pop Smoke and that track with Juice WRLD, nah, I didn't need this album, honestly. Hall of Fame, This is not the deluxe, so I'm giving it a 6 out of 10. This album, I don't know. I really liked it the first day, but it grew off me so much. God damn. Like, I still think tracks like Boom, Clueless are absolute bangers, but I feel like a couple of the other tracks just really, really grew off me. I don't know. T-Top 5, that's 8 out. Good 7 out of 10, but really, really enjoyable project. Like the track Practice, the track with Cardi, track with, it's just really, really overall, really, really enjoyable project. I liked it. I don't know. Oh, I wouldn't even say this is a hip hop project, but I really like this Her project. I think it's my second most listened to project out of 2021. I really like this. Like, it has a couple tracks like I Can Have It All, which I mentioned earlier on the Khalid project too, but I like the version that is on this album a lot more. Um, the track with Corday, Trauma, the track with Young Blue. I think this project is really good, and if you haven't heard it yet, and if you like melodic type shit, I know this is kind of R&B. If you like that shit, give it a listen. It's actually good. I actually heard this Goldlink project as well. I think it's a 5 out of 10. This had some tracks that were really interesting. I think my favorite track was called Cindy's Daughter or something like that. But it's just some tracks were just like sounded a bit like they were just awfully mixed. I don't know if that's just some experimental type shit that I'm not getting. I didn't like it. That's all I know. Then we got another 9. Tyler the Creator, Call Me If You Get Lost. I still think Wilshire or Wilshire, I don't know how to say this honestly, has one of the best first listening experiences of the year. I mean, it's a storytelling track, so most of the good storytelling tracks have a really good first listening experience. It doesn't really have that much replay value for me. Overall, the album doesn't. That's like kind of the only thing it lacks for me, replay value. Because I really, really liked it the times I've listened to it. It's just, I barely put any of these tracks in my playlist and was like, yo, this is hard. I bump this every day. That's just not it for me. I don't know. But as an album, I think it's really, 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 really good. You could tell by where I ranked it. Sin City, that's a 4 out of 10. Because all the disappointing albums are in 4 out of 10. I do think Sin City is better than Culture 3, but I think it's so goddamn disappointing. Like, I really, really, I would consider myself a really big Ski Mask fan, at least from his old work, for example, like even Stokely, like Drawn in Designer, Stokely, like all that shit. I think it was a very, very good, but this project just wasn't it. I don't know, just nah. G Herbo 25. That's another 7, honestly. It's like on the lower end of 7, but it's solid. I liked it. That track with Polo G and Lil TJ is probably one of the biggest standouts. But other than that, it's still a good project, and I think one of the first G Herbo projects I've ever heard in my life. I like it. Another disappointing project, but still a 7 out of 10. I think IDK's You See For Yourself is a good project, but like compared to Is He Real, not that good. Because Is He Real would probably be a 9 out of 10, and this is just lower end of 7 out of 10. Vince Staples, a solid 8. I liked this project all around. 10 tracks, not too long, not too short, all killer, no filler. Nothing that like blew me out of my chair, but all good overall. Faith. See, this is disappointing, but this is going into 2 out of 10 just for the disrespect they did on Pop Smoke. Some tracks on here should have never been released. Never. I would even go as far as to say 75% of this album should have never been released. Like, what was that track with Dua Lipa? What the fuck? What was that track with Kid Cudi? See, I like the Kid Cudi performance, but nah, bro. Like, he just wasn't, like, the Pop Smoke performance just wasn't it. And I'm not blaming Pop. I'm blaming the label, bro. I don't know. It's Remble by Remble. Upper end of 7 out of 10. I'm not the biggest West Coast rap fan, But this project was really, I don't know, intriguing to me. Like I just like that style Ramble has, and how I said it earlier, it's not that I'm like the biggest West Coast rap fan, but Ramble is one of the rappers that I really enjoy out of that scene, and I hope he continues to drop good music because for now I haven't heard a single Ramble miss. Bobby Tarantino 3 goes to the disappointments, and 4 it's just nah, bro, nah, nah. I heard Moon Boy by Young Blue, but it's just I can't remember enough how it sounds to really rank it. I'm sorry. I heard the third part. Actually, I heard this project by the Killer Roy. I don't think it's awful. I think it's a 5 out of 10. I don't know. I don't really like the Killer Roy. I feel like he always sounds like some kind of spoiled suburb kid. Got his heart broken, and started to rap and try to rip off Juice WRLD. That's just all he sounds like to me. I don't like his persona either. So I don't know. It's just might be a bit biased at this point. Can't really tell, but maybe, yeah. Uh, RIP Young Dolph at this point. Paper Illuminati Empire or something like that. I don't know what the exact name of this project is. I read it as on Toxiris Discovers as well because I would have never listened to it otherwise because I don't know. I never really listened to that whole Memphis scene if it wasn't like really popping. But like, this is a solid album. Honestly, I can't knock it. I think it's way too long. Way too long. Like I fell asleep listening to this. It was so long. But like, some tracks are really enjoyable. So I'd give it a 6 or maybe a 5 out of 10. But I'd rather 6. This is my favorite project of 2021 right here. And I don't know if I would rate it a 10 out of 10. I would rather go 9.5. But since don't have any other projects on here that would even go close to the 10, I will put The House is Burning by Isaiah Rashad on the 10 out of 10. I just love this album so much. I love it. I absolutely love it. And how I said it, I wouldn't put it as a 10 out of 10, but it's easily the best from the project I've heard from 2021. And like to separate it, I can put it on top here. Then we have We're All Alone in This Together. Another easy 9 out of 10. Easily 9 out of 10. Great project. If you heard any Dave albums, you know what I'm talking about. Nas, King's Disease 2. I put that on the 10 too because these two are like, if you ask me like what are the two best projects from 2021, I'm probably gonna name either these two or the ones below them, To Kill a Sunrise and La Maquina, because those are easily the best to me. Like I love these albums a lot. Like from production to rapping to hooks, everything is great. Like that Lauryn Hill verse on Nobody by Nas. Oh, fucking great. I don't know. Bo Jackson, finally listened to it. 9 out of 10. I really liked it. Unfortunately, I heard it after I made my top 100 albums list of 2021. But I really, really enjoyed it. And if you haven't heard it yet, I can only recommend listening to it. Honestly. Just a Matter of Slime. Another easy 7 out of 10. I think, like, if you consider how long Melly has been locked up right now, this is a solid project. I don't know where they're getting all this material from. But it's good. It's not like great, but good. Pyrex Picasso. This was the EP I was talking about earlier when I said that Benny dropped the worst EP later on in the year. This is a 7 out of 10. It's good, but not as great as Pyrex Picasso. Then we have Trippie Redd, Trip at Night. 3 out of 10. Worse than Neon Shark. I really didn't like this project. I didn't like the repetitiveness. I didn't like how he performed on them rage beats. I don't know. It just wasn't for me, I guess. Can't really tell. Donda. Ooh, Donda's up there too, though. No, Donda's a 9 out of 10. Donda is also a very, very, very good album, but it does have a couple misses. Obviously, if you have a track list this long, it's pretty much unavoidable to have some misses in there. But for how long it is, it really packs a lot of bangers. And it's not like really boring or anything. Hitler wears Hermé. I don't know. I don't speak any French, so please be nice to me. But this project is solid 7. I liked it. I think it's pretty good. I know that many people didn't like this, but really enjoyed the deluxe more. I feel like this is better than the deluxe. Like I would put, hold on, where's the other one? I'll put both of them in 7 out of 10. But I think this is slightly better than the deluxe actually. I don't know if that's just me though. Um, well, we love you, Tekka 2. Another easy 7 out of 10. I think this might even be better than the first part. Like some tracks on here, like the one with Nav was really good, and there's like a couple others that are just really enjoyable tracks, and that's what Lil Tecca is here for. CLB, I don't know, man. This really wasn't it. Like besides Knife Talk and 7 p.m. on Prado Bridge, I don't know. Besides that, this really wasn't it, bro. Really wasn't it. Sometimes I might be introvert. 9 out of 10. Late 8 to beginning of 9 out of 10. I know many people absolutely love this project as well. I think it's fantastic, no questions. But I think some people might overhype it a bit. I do think I said it. It's a very very good project with great production, great lyricism, and great subject matter. Then we got AZ Do or Die 2. Another project that I feel like went kind of under the radar of many this year. Like, I would say this is easily 8 out of 10. I really enjoyed it, like production, rapping, and everything. But I didn't see it on many lists, to be honest. I don't know why, but I really enjoyed it. I don't know. Baby Keem, The Melodic Blue, another 8 out of 10. I don't think I have to explain anything about it. I think it's really, really good project, and I liked it. I don't know. I hated this album when I heard it the first time. Now I love it. Smiling with No Teeth by Genesis Owusu, an absolutely great project. Montero by Lil Nas X, I think that's a solid 7. I think honestly it has a couple bangers on there, and even if people might hate on it because he's gay or whatever, the music is really really good. Sincerely Cantrell, another 7. Really not the biggest fan of this project. I think Youngboy can do much much better, but I don't think it's bad either. These Things Happen Too by G-Eazy. I think this actually has a couple really really good tracks, honestly. Mostly carried by features, but those tracks are good, and other than that, obviously, it's corny as fuck. And also bad as fuck at some points, but some of these tracks, I enjoyed it. I don't know. Rick Ross, Richer Than I've Ever Been, 7 out of 10. Another one. Well, okay, that's DJ Khalid, never mind. Um, Solid project, what can I say? Really, I really, really liked it. Nas, another project with Hit Boy. This might be a 8 out of 10. I think it's way, way, way worse than um, King's Disease 2, but I mean, it's still a Nas product and it's still good. It's just not as good as King's Disease 2. Expensive Pain, that's another 7 for me. I read it at an 8 the first day I heard it, but now I'd give it a 7 because, I don't know, I never really go back to many tracks on that album. Like the track Vori is really good, and the intro is really good, but besides that, I don't know, I just never visit this project. Goldmouth, that's easy 8 in my opinion. Like some of these features, some of these hooks, some of these verses, like I think this Lude really, really did well on this project. I really liked it. Life of a Dawn, yeah, that's another 7. I liked it. I know many people were really disappointed by this project, but I still think this is Don Toliver's best project to this day. Like, I don't know. I think Donnie Womack is worse, and I don't know. I never was the biggest fan of Heaven and Hell. I don't know, but maybe that's just me. Too Loyal for My Own Good by Heady One. Another easy 7 out of 10. I don't really have much to say about this project. I think it's pretty enjoyable, but could be better. Actually, I'd put it at the upper end of 6 out of 10 because I have way too much 7 out of 10. God damn. Comethazine, the album. I think it was better than like Pandemic, but it was still really disappointing. I don't know. I want that Bosky 1, Bosky 2 energy back in Methazine. Where is it? Please. Bosky 3 is alright too, but everything after that, goddamn, was that bad. LP, that's an easy 8, if not, yeah, maybe even 9 out of 10. Album really grew on me. Like that track, Rebound, goes crazy. I liked it. I don't know. Punk is a 5. I don't know. I usually like Young Thug, but that project is, I don't know. If my favorite track on your project is Carried by Post Malone, which I'm not hating on Post Malone, I'm just saying, then it's probably not your best project. And that's the case here. It's not, I don't think it's really bad. I don't think it's really good either. I think it's mid. Maxo Cream. Also no, this is an 8 out of 10. I really like this project. I think the song like the wordplay between Crip and Christian, like that was a great song. Like the line, Jesus white Christ could walk on water, I'm a Crip walk on a seat. I don't know, man. I like that. I was smiling when I heard that line. Overall, that song was sad as fuck, but that line had me smiling. I don't know. Mick Jenkins, Elephant in the Room. Another easy 8 out of 10 in my opinion. A great project. Really not much to complain about. 2.5. I think it's called 2.5, but Amine, 7 out of 10. Don't have much to say about it. It's pretty good. I'm not the biggest Amine fan. A Boogie, before Artist versus A Boogie. I think that was it's called Before AVA, but I think the AVA stands for Artist versus A Boogie or something like that. 6 out of 10. Pretty solid EP. Like I liked it, but it's like not outstanding or something. Juice WRLD Finding Demons against Common Opinion. I think this project is pretty good, but I don't know. Chief Keef, Fornum, another 7 out of 10. Another solid project. I don't know where I would rank this in Chief Keef project, but he had a couple tracks on here that were just really, really good. Roddy Ricch, Live Life Fast. I think this one is kind of disappointing as well, but I'd give it a 6 out of 10 overall. I don't know. I think it could definitely be worse, but it could also be a lot better. Yellow Tape 2, that's another 6. I enjoyed the project. I just think, I don't know, that style Key Glock has just isn't really as good over a longer project. I feel like Key Glock would be the perfect artist to drop like EPs all the time, for me at least. I don't remember what this project is called, but it's by TM88 and Pure Born, and I'd give it another 7. I think it's really solid, and I liked it. Hot Boy, another 6 out of 10. I think it's another solid project. Not as good as Cut the Fan On by far, but not as bad as his second album was, because that one was not that good in my opinion. Silk Sonic, An Evening with Silk Sonic. That might be a 9 or a good 8 out of 10. A good 8 out of 10. I'm gonna give it that. Just not. Just a really big fan of this album. It was really, really catchy. Anderson .Paak did his thing. Bruno Mars did his thing. Both of them were absolutely great, and I liked it. That the Baby EP, 5 out of 10. Pretty mid overall. The Polo G Deluxe, I would give this 7 out of 10. I enjoyed a couple tracks of that project. Maybe even an 8, but like I'd rather give it like a high 7, like 7.5 or something like that. I don't know. But like, I don't know. Didn't really enjoy the original project, but this project just had a couple tracks that were like really upgrading it, in my opinion. Y'all can hate me, but I think that Tory Lanez project is 9 out of 10, and I'm not afraid to say it, man. I think it's great. I think like every track on here could be added to a playlist of mine, and at some point every track was in a playlist. Now it's not every track, but like most of these tracks are in some of my playlists at least. I don't know. Who is Nardo Wick? I feel like that's like how many people feel about Shiesty season, that's how I feel about Who Is Not a Wick. Like, it's just like too repetitive for me. He just doesn't have that entertainment factor that Pooh Shiesty has, in my opinion. So I'd give it a 5 out of 10. Untamed by Dusty Locane. Actually a better drill project than I expected it to be, because I thought, well, Pooh Shiesty isn't really that good, but I give it a 7 out of 10. Like, some tracks on here were fucking good. Some tracks where he tried to imitate Pop Smoke with that singing type shit, he should stay on the drill in my opinion, but was a solid project. Fortunate by Cause, that's another 8 out of 10 for me. I like that project. I don't know. I really like, even though it's only a 7-track EP, I really like the intro, I really like the outro, and the tracks between are not like bad, really good as well. Just those two would be my highlights. And then as a last project I've heard from, because I haven't heard all of these down there, or at least I might have heard some of them, but it's been too long, or I just can't rate them. Extreme Measures by Havoc and Styles P. That's the last 7 out of 10 of the day. I'm going to zoom in again so y'all can see the whole list. Let me know what y'all think about him. I'm going to leave the link to this tier list in the comments so y'all can, I don't know, do your own tier list, whatever. Appreciate y'all for watching the whole way through, and have a great one.
Remember back then, all them hoes ain't want me. Now I'm ballin', all them same hoes on me. Mama told me that this came with the money and the motherfucking fame, even though I feel the same. I'm that nigga now, I'm that nigga now, I'm that nigga now, I'm that nigga now.